debated about doing this video because I didn't know if I could get through the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So, I debated about doing this video because I didn't know if I could get through the video. So, what I wanted to talk about was my goals for 2020. A little bit about, I started a bit in another video, so if this gets chatty, forgive me. But my goals for 2020 and why it's important for me to try to stick to those goals. So, because with anything, so sticking to those goals, so with anything that I know that I put my mind towards and try to be disciplined and dedicated, I get through, and the results are usually positive and good. Most things. So just a bit of history. So going into 2020, I kind of have to start with 2019 because 2019 set up a lot of things for me and my family for 2020. So from beginning to the end, it was transition. So I would say, if I had a word, it was transition. Transition in 2019. Early 2019, I was told that I would no longer have a. Anyway, so 2019. Let's get through this. So 2019, I was told I wouldn't have a job in 2 months. So by end of March. It was March 21st or the 22nd. March 21st or 22nd was my last day. So I had wonderful staff because I was a manager who supported me through the whole transition of leaving. Because I still had to work. I still had to train the new people. I still had to do my job, be a manager. The office was moving, so there was a lot of things happening at work. So just trying to be the manager for them. At the same time dealing with what the hell am I going to do come April. I also turned 50 and I had planned to go away, which I did. I went away to Jamaica for 2 weeks and then said I gotta enjoy this because hey, who knows when I'll be able to do this again. So my mother blessed me with a 50th birthday gift with a trip to Jamaica for 2 weeks. And when I got back, I was, I believe, I shouldn't believe, I know, I fell into a depressive mode. And I hung out with a friend at her place. So thanks, friend. And I kind of got through that and through even being, because I was away from my home. Like I would check in with my kids, but I would be away from home for like days at a time, and I would come back home, and then I would go back to my friends, and we kind of just hung out. I think we went out for lunch or dinner once. So, and it wasn't weeks at a time. I think the longest I stayed was like 4 days, and yeah. So even within that, I had my laptop, and I was just like, what is the process that I need to do to get everything done. Like, um, find a job, and what am I going to do? I had to find a new career. And even with that, I was like, did I bring this um, transition onto myself? Because there's many days that I was with the job for 20 years, and I grew within the company, and I was given um, a few leadership roles. Like I started out just a customer service rep for 6 months. Then they extended it a little bit. Then they offered me permanent. And then within a couple of years, I was a team leader, then a supervisor, then a manager of one department, assistant manager. I forget how it all went, but I ended up being a manager of one department. So I grew with the company. I got to know the company. But there's days when work transitioned out that I just thought I just want to be a regular person, and not be responsible for people. I often thought, I told somebody yesterday, I often thought I couldn't see myself retiring there because of the transition that happened at work. So I was like, I don't see myself being in this position. Maybe I was supposed to be into grow into maybe in the company somewhere else. I am not sure. Anyways, back to after going away and coming back, I started looking for a job, and then I ended up with a job. Was actually they recruited me. I put my resume on LinkedIn. They called me, and I was just like, oh, you're gonna you're gonna do this and that. And I was like, wow. I was just like, wow. They came for me. They really want me. Then I had to wait. That was in May, and I had to wait till June to start working. And it was the end of June. And we started into training, and I was just like, the hell did I get myself into? There was a lot of codes that I had to memorize. Of course, we had like cheat sheets, and it was work from home, so that was great. But the trainer, we were with her for 9 weeks. She was awesome. She made you feel like you could do this. She kind of pushed you to do it. We were in a group setting for training, and I think there was probably like 15 of us. And then we all branched out into accounts, and some of us stayed together. Some of us, everybody just branched out to different departments. So yeah. So then after a while, I was just like, I don't know. And even with going into our new departments, they were still helpful. The people that were in charge of making sure that we were ready to go on the phones and ready to do what we were supposed to do. Yeah, so they were making sure that we were ready to be on the phones and talk to people and book. It was booking travel for corporations. Um, anyway, so we were just on a live system, like the airports. So that was nerve-wracking. Um, so there's parts of the things that I would literally go with my kids and my friends to um, Starbucks and bring my notes. There's a certain code to do this. There's a certain code to do that. Certain code to do this. And I was like, you just want to make sure that you got it right. So we have to literally go through my training notes and just try to do a cheat sheet on my own, so I know how to like navigate and go through things. Then when I get home, I put it onto my work computer, so I have it easy, accessible in different categories, so I'm not flipping through papers, etc. Anyways, pushing it along. We were. I got to meet a few of the 3 to 4 of them, of the people that I was working with remotely. So we all had to do a bio, which was in our training thing. We did a little bit of a bio, so everybody had pictures of us, seen pictures of us and our family, and just knew where we were coming from. And so we decided to do a Christmas dinner, which was we started in training, and now we're here together in this department together, and so that was fun and nice to put actually physical people, and it kind of made you feel like you were part of the work environment. And a lot of things that I loved about my other job is that it was that you go into work often some people would come and we just talk, and you kind of knew people, um, life, and be in a work environment, you could easily get that from just walking through the office, right? You stop here, you stop there. This online, this work from home, it's almost the same thing because we had like a chat, and you can also private chat to somebody, if you wanted to just, say, hey, I'm stuck on this or whatever. So, anyways, yeah. So, after a while, I was just like, I know where I wanted to be, and I think the whole time through training, I was still like, I want to be in that position. Because I want to be the trainer, but I of course have to work my way through to get to that point, right? To get back to that leadership point. But I was okay. But I know I was like, you know, I went to school and I did sociology. I wanted to be a social worker, but then life took over. And I was telling a good friend of mine that I was telling him that finding that some of the positions that I was in, I ended up being that social worker type of role. So even though I was doing this, my side hustle at work wasn't a side hustle. I was just like, I was counseling, or I was advising, or I was teaching, kind of thing. That's what always seemed to happen. And even in this, so I knew that if I was a trainer or a leader, I could get back to that. I could still do it in a role, but in a role that's just, not a management role. So anyways, I thought, yeah, again, I said I'm here, I need to not perfect, but just really grasp and get a good handle on what I'm doing, learn what I'm doing so that I could move on to leadership. And when the HR had recruited me, she basically said that to me, to do that. So, and the funny thing is now, I think, where would I have been now? I might have been in the same position now because of whatever, of everything that's going on in the world. Because a lot of people are traveling come December, November now. So this part is for my family. So my godsons, for my friends, it's for my children. And it's in regards to mental health. So I was having a Christmas party around December. And so I'm always thinking about what am I going to do? What am I going to do for giveaways, do crafts, because I do crafting. I have a crafting channel as well. And I haven't been on there for a while. And so I said to my friend, sent her a message, and I sent her a text, and I said, come over to my house, let's craft. And she's really good at seeing something in her head and then saying, let's try it, right? Or sometimes I stumble with like, what am I gonna make, or how is this going to look, and just get frustrated and not even start. So so that morning, I messaged her and I was like, are you coming over? And she was like, oh no, and she gave me a reason why she couldn't come. So I said, all right. And then later she's like, she didn't know I had a day off. It was during the week, and I had 2 days off. And I had 2 days off because my company that I was working with was an American company. I live in Canada, and it was their Thanksgiving. So they got Thanksgiving Thursday and the Friday off. So because of the department that I was working, I got that too. So she messaged me and said, are you home alone? Where are the girls? And I was like, oh, they're here. And then she's like, oh, can you come over? I said, no, it's cold. Like, it was cold that day. I remember being sunny, but cold. And I was like, no, I think, I don't know if I'm going to get something, but I just feel like I should just stay home. And a few minutes later, she messaged me back, oh, the girl's home. I called you. I said, yeah, give me some time. So this is the end of November, 25th or 6th or something, to be exact. Not to be exact, I don't even know. And so she called and she was like, this is the end of 2019. And we have one more month basically left in 2019. And she said, he's gone. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, he's gone. So I said, who's gone? And I know she's watching this video. I don't know if she's going to make it through this video, because she watches all my videos. And we've known each other since we were teenagers. Just on the, no, before that, because she's a year younger than me. So she was probably 11, 12, I was 13. And we've known each other since then. And anyways, she just broke the news to me about her son, which is my godson. So, yeah, a shock to everyone, a shock. And I just want to say that, and why I dedicated to, I'm not going to go, because I wouldn't be able to get through everything, and that's her story. I might touch on it a little bit, but that's her story. I just know that it affected us a lot. And individually, if I had a conversation, I would say, I don't think I've told many people. I think people kind of just like, something's wrong with me, because I just wasn't reaching out and wasn't being my usual self. So when those close people to me started reaching out, like my old coworkers and stuff, that's when I was like, oh, this happened. And I would go through the whole thing with them. And so that was the end of November, and my mind wasn't in to anything. We had to get through planning a funeral. So I helped her. We had to get through planning a funeral, and with every step, so dealing with how my kids are going to take it, or how my kids, I mean, they were here when the news was told to me, but we now had to wait to tell our other closest friends and what we were going to do and how we were going to break the news to this whole world of hers, my friends. It was just a time, and so at this point, I already had my Christmas party planned, so I respectfully went to her and said, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to cancel it or postpone it? And she said, you have it every year. He would want us to continue to do it. So I just moved it 1 week later, so we can have his funeral. So, Christmas came and went, New Year's came and went, so now we're into 2020. So, beginning of 2020 into January, February, I think, because a friend of mine reached out to me, and she said, hey, I haven't heard from you. We used to work together. she said, hey, I haven't heard from you, blah, 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 how are you? And so she was a person I broke the news to. And she's like, I knew it. I felt that you were just, something was just off with you. And I said, you know what? And I think this was in January. And I said, you know what? I still cry daily. I still cry daily. I was exhausted, and I would just be at work, and I would have to like put myself on unavailable because I was having an emotional breakdown at the time, and I was like, yeah, this is hard, and this really hit hard, and so in end of January, February, layoffs happened in the work that I was in, so I was no longer employed again. So almost a year later, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Anyways, fast forward, got to my birthday. We celebrated my birthday in March. Things were happening with COVID, starting to happen with COVID. Starting to get all the news and everything that was happening in March or end of February, March. I think it happened relatively fast. My birthday's in the middle of March, and I remember going out to, we had dinner, we had drinks, there was dancing, and I remember going out, and it was like the Saturday, and by Monday the kids were supposed to be off on break, and they extended the week before, so the Friday or the Thursday before, they announced that the kids were not getting 1 week off with March break. They were gonna have 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know, but they extended it. And then by Monday, when March break first started, everything, they made an announcement that it was shut down. It was locked down. So that in itself was like a panic for me, because I was like, I need to look for a job. I need to find a job. And who's gonna hire in these times? So again, I was within a employment agency that helps you look for jobs. So it's not an employment agency; they just help you look for jobs. And so like a reference place, you can use their computers if you need their printers. They have like a job bank kind of thing. So one of the specialists called me and said, "Hey, we have this like position, and it looks like you could be good for it," and blah blah blah. So I went to it, said, "Oh yeah, looks like," I interviewed, asked specific questions, and then when I got into the job, everything that I had asked wasn't always the truth, and that before I'm in a position now, like, do I stay or do I quit? But in the meantime, I said, let me go through it, because that's who I am, and stick to it and see what's happening. And again, so this is not going into April, and I actually found 2, so I tried one on a Friday. I got it on the Friday, so that was partly training. Saturday I did a full day, and then thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it to travel, because I couldn't drive to work. I would have to drive to the subway station, take the subway train, walk to work, and this is like peak shutdown. Like, stores were closed, it was like ghost town. Nobody, our train system, our subway system is always packed with people. That morning, on a Saturday morning, I was the only one on this section of this train, and here comes this guy in full like cleaning gear, like spraying down, wiping down. I'm like, I don't have a mask, because then you didn't have to have a mask or gloves. You didn't have to, and I was like, I already have a condition. What's going on? Like, I don't know if I can do this every day and be in this environment and travel on a public transit, work for 8-9 hours, come back home. Like, I'm gonna be out of my house for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, they social distance us inside work by skipping a desk. But, you know, so yeah, so I was just like, I don't know. So then I said, you know what, let me try the other work from home job. And paid a little bit more, and it was work from home. So that was the one I was like, yeah, this is the one. This is one I specifically asked questions, and wasn't all true, the answers, and I started there. And then my friend messaged me, because in early February I was supposed to start somewhere else, and then that fell through. My friend messaged me, she's like, hey, have you heard from so-and-so about this? And I was like, just message her and see what's happening. So I messaged her, and she was like, I'm doing interviews again. I know how many times I've interviewed for this position. I'm interviewing again. Blah, blah, blah. Send me this, send me that. I'm like, I could easily send it to you because I've done it like 3 times. And so I sent it to her, and she was like, I'm coming for an interview. We're doing, because there's a glass petition, she can do a in-person interview. So I did that, and then the next day she called, and she was like, oh, and I'll offer you the position, blah, 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 blah. And I was happy because I wasn't happy at that one. That one was, at the other one, that one was disorganized. It was just, again, we switched leaders about 100 times. Not an exaggeration. Certain things I asked for to make sure that I was doing my job properly, I didn't get. I just want to hear how certain calls are. I just want to see this and what happens with this. And so I wasn't getting it, and I wasn't confident that I was going to do my job. And what they'll do is just like, oh, you're not doing your job, and then they'll get rid of you. I just started with this new job, and it was great training. I was training with somebody else who was new. I got into my own space, which was closer to home, because before I was traveling like 40 minutes out of town. And I was getting out of the house, but this was like a secure, it was like a financial institution, so it's like a secure work environment. So anyway, so it ended up being that my manager was toxic. And a lot of people were either being let go or they were leaving. And I was like, not even that, I can't get through a bad manager because I have before. But it extended to the owner. And I can't work for somebody when I don't have an HR department to protect me. And I couldn't go into work every day feeling stressed about I might not have a job tomorrow, based on things that were beyond my control. They expected way too much. There was nothing. All of a sudden, I'm expected. I wasn't having it, and I wasn't happy. And it was just toxic. It was just like, so a lot of things I was, I was polite, and I was like, well, show me. Like, if you are, like, coach me to get the results that you want me to get. Didn't happen. So here I am saying I need to find another job. So my friend found a job. Backstory, we both worked at the same company that I worked for 20 years. So when I say that I was told, so was she. Same day. I was first and she was second. So we kind of transitioned together, and it was a brief few months that we worked different jobs. She left because of the toxic environment and bad leader trickling down. I didn't feel like a manager because I was like sweeping, dusting. They were more concerned about the appearance of the place than actual employee. So, manager would walk in on visits to different stores, like, oh, carpet's dirty. I'm like, yeah, I came here and saw the carpet being dirty. Like, I inherited this location. It was dirty when I got here. And no, I'm not sweeping the back stairs. And no, I'm not lifting heavy boxes. And no, I'm not cleaning. Like, it was just like, what am I doing here? Am I like cleaning service, customer service rep, and a manager? Like, what do you want? What do you want? Because I can't be it all. Right? I can't. Anyway, so my friend was like, try here. And then I tried. I was interviewed, got the job again. Little less pay, but I wasn't, and I'm not waking up every day feeling like I did since August of 2020. So everywhere opened up. Our hours became longer. I was doing more. It was just no, you gotta do more, you gotta do more. And I was like, how? Like people are still unstable and not knowing what, you know, what's gonna happen if they're gonna have a job. So anyways, I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I kept, and I've heard the word pivot, and some of you that I've heard that I watch this YouTuber, her name is Tanaania. I'll link her channel below. She says something, if it's not working, don't stop. In life, just pivot to something else. And so I just heard that just the other day, and that's exactly what I did. I don't have enough time to sit and say, let me try and make it better. If I could see what the writing on the wall and the feeling I have in my gut, it's time for me to go. It's time, and the opportunity just came out, and I was there like applying for jobs, and sometimes in a day I would send out 10 resumes and not get a response back. So I have had a couple of interviews and not been. I had a really good interview and I thought I was going to get it, but I didn't. But that shows me that I could still be out there. And I'm in a company now that, again, my friend introduced me to the company. I interviewed and blah, blah, blah. We're in different departments, work from home. But there is, if I wanted to, like, move up, and they instantly, with their letter that they sent me, they said, here's how you can move up. They instantly sent that day one. You're here, and this is how you can move up. And I was like, this is where I want to go. So, and with training, our training was quick. Again, I could travel about 40 minutes out of town, but we were only there for 2 days, and then we trained at home for the rest of the week. And then I went into my department, and then you know, worked with a couple of people for a couple of days, and then I went on my own. And, you know, just the atmosphere, just the support, this is what my friend's saying, the support that she's getting in her department, just the support that I'm getting in my department. You know, they make you feel like if you're having a bad day, week, you know, I mean, I just started end of November, and, you know, they just said, you know, take it day by day, take it week by week, month by month. And so last week was my first bad week, and you know, yeah. So just I'm in a good place where I know I'm not stressing. I literally shut down my computer at end of work, and I wipe it away. I don't even think about it. Don't even think about work till I have to get up the next day. Don't stress about it. And in my job that I was with for 24 years, I brought my work home. I had a laptop, I had this, and I was thinking about what am I going to do, because there's a lot of things that I was building that I saw. And I think that was one of the more hurtful parts. Like, my coworker, we trained our staff to be where we wanted it. Finally, we had a good set of staff, and then now I'm just hand my staff over. Anyways, hand my staff that I've trained over. Maybe I was meant to do that. Maybe. 2021. We're in 2021. We're still in lockdown. Our lockdown happened here in this city. I live in the city that I'm in. It happened November for 28 days. So just before Christmas, we were supposed to open up. Didn't happen. And we had to do all our shopping in nearby towns. And then they came mid-December, to almost Christmas. They were saying after starting Boxing Day, complete province shutdown. And I think for 20, I think certain regions of the province had the vast amount of days that it was supposed to be shut down for, but basically shut down anywhere I could go that was near me were shut down. That means grocery stores are open, pharmacies and stuff like that. Anywhere that sells food, like dollar stores are still open, grocery stores. Restaurants were open, just couldn't sit in. We were able in October to go sit in a restaurant, social distancing for my daughter's birthday. My daughter's birthday in August, we sat down, did a patio, and another restaurant. No more, that's all gone. So we can order, can do curbside pickup, um, etc. So we're back in lockdown again. They extended it again for another 28 days. Another 28 days. So now we're heading into February. Because that just happened. We're heading into February where we'll still be in lockdown. So it's just like things aren't getting better, you know. So having learned in 2020, sorry, keep stepping on something. Going from 2019 into 21, be very mindful of your mindset. Be very open to know that you might need help in terms of mental illness, that it's okay to not be perfect, to crash kind of thing. Like detox, like reset yourself. It's okay to just, you know, talk to close friends, hide yourself, remove yourself from certain situations, and just fix yourself mentally, and be open to talk about it with whoever you need to talk about it with. Be open to talk about it, and it's not shameful. We get depressed, we have anxiety, you know, just find out what your triggers are. I know I have to work within my family to, one, on myself. Just like when I had my last daughter, I didn't know I don't even think I had postpartum, but I remember saying to somebody, I met the line. If I crossed over that line, I would have been depressed. And I could feel myself crossing, so I would switch, pivot, so I didn't cross that line of depression. And that was eerie to me because I could say that I knew when it was happening. So, with everything that's going on and what's happened in my life, 2020, again, I was not settled. I was still healing. We were still healing, and we are still healing from a death that rocked our world. We just never expected it, and I'm sure his mom never in 1,000 years expected it. Nobody expected it, and he was the sweetest. Anyways, he was 27, and he added to, as much as he probably didn't even know, he brought something to somebody's life. So, brought something to somebody's life. And you know when you hear, or I think I was an adult when you hear, what would the world be like if this wasn't invented and that wasn't invented? And I don't know if I said it to my daughter, but I said, what would the world be like if you didn't exist? Think about that. Like, you still have life ahead. So much life. So 2021, going into 2021 is when I came back to this channel and thought, I'm going to open this up. And this channel, and my crafting channel. So I still have to do, and I still love to craft, is that when it was the first year anniversary of losing my godson in November. Moving up to Christmas, Christmas was looking different. Everything was like, I'm not going to have a Christmas party, this and that. But end of 2020, I started bringing this channel back to life. And I'm saying, I love this platform. I'm like that I'm able to, I've always been shy, but I still am a little bit. And I'm allowed to talk and share my day, share what's going on, just share a bit of my life, and hopefully motivate. I definitely get motivation. I was like, I could watch what I ate in a day, cleaning motivations. Like, I don't even think I watch regular TV anymore. Uh, I just love the content that's being put out there, and that's what I feel I like doing. I'm finding that I'm comfortable. So coming into 2021, I'm like, this is also what I want to make sure that I'm keeping up with. So, what are my goals? Finally here. What are my goals? To personally just, again, work on myself. Years ago, I lost probably close to 100 pounds, but I didn't lose it. I wanted to look good in a wedding dress, and that marriage didn't end up lasting. So I wasn't really doing it for the right reasons, but I knew that persistence and consistency and what I was eating and my exercise helped get to where I was doing. Then I did another program with multifaceted with shakes. Again, that helped me reset. But the moment I started to eat again, it just kind of blew everything out of the water. So I had lost some weight and I gained some back because I was eating. So just be more mindful of what I'm putting and ingesting. And I know what affects my body. I just have to make sure that I stick to it. Going out for walks because I am working from home. And I can literally now get up. I started working at 9. So literally get up at 8, shower, get breakfast, and be at work by 9. So, so get up, go for walks, and do a little bit of exercise that way. That helps mentally as well. And then for just be more spiritual. Definitely be more spiritual. Not would require me to get up early because I need a space to meditate and need time. I can't get up at 8 o'clock and meditate and read what I need to read in books that I have or my Bible or whatever. I just need time to sit down, just to be like, this is me time, morning and evening. Just concentrate on my home. I know for one of my daughters, it is, I have a lot of stuff that I need to declutter, and I can't clean. And in this cluttered space, I clean, but it's just like I just put piles, just clean around, and that's gonna be a project. I have a lot of little projects that just never come to fruition because it's just I find I have no time. But that I'm working on, and because the clutter now drives her insane. So just working on being a better and a better me, an enhancement. I guess me. Try to gain things financially, be where I want to be in terms of my career. Again, just keeping doing YouTube wherever this goes. This is stuff I find that I like it. And working on my home. Again, there's not much to do. So everything that's going to be happening is going to be happening here. Here is the time to just like relax. Just like everybody was like, this is the time to just relax, reset. This was last year, and we're heading into the same thing this year. So again, I'm finding out we're eating out less, or taking out, or ordering in less. We want to cook and more, and bring out recipes, just trying different things, baking, whatever. A YouTuber that I watch, Jenita, I'm gonna put a link to her channel here. She had a video where she made biscuits, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. Like, I literally could smell the biscuits through her video. That's how good they look. So stuff like that, just living in the moment now that we can't, because nobody's going out, so you can't. I used to always feel like I'm missing something. New Year's Eve, I'm like, I need to be out, because usually we're away anyways, we're out of country, but if we're here in Canada, I was like, I need to go out. What are people doing? So now there's none of that. We don't have to feel we need to go out because there is nowhere to go. Just stay at home and do what you gotta do with your within your immediate surroundings. So, like, I still go see a friend or two because I've been seeing them. They're in my circle, and they don't live with X amount of people. So, yeah. 2021, coming into 2021, I know that like I had to be reminded of that. Like, put your mind um, to do something. You know you can do it, and you like certain things. Just do what you like, and not procrastinate or avoid. My avoidance is I finish work and I'm like, I just need to lie down for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just relax and reset. And it's like 2 hours later, I'm on YouTube, but I sometimes fall asleep. So none of that. I have to have a schedule of what I'm doing and to keep up with everything. So I'm still probably will have to pivot again. But again, if things aren't working out for you, pivot. Get through what you need to get through from the past, and heal. Move on into the future. This is the time. It's early days. We're still in January of 2021, and I also have, and again, that same YouTuber, Tanaania. I remember watching a couple of her videos way before she did what she was. Her goals for 2021 is she did a tour of her place. That was it. She did a tour of her place, and it was she had a gratitude jar. So I have this container that I have had just we had like gift stuff at work that I worked at 20 years ago. We got like candies or something in it, and I think it was like a set of 3. And I took one of the containers. It's a silver box. I'm gonna show it in another video. And what she suggests is once a day, once a week, once a month, at least once a month, if you can, every day. Is just write something down on a piece of paper that you're grateful. I'm gonna date it because sometimes we wake up and we're like, oh, thank you for waking me up, blah blah blah. Write it down on paper because there's lots to be grateful because there's people who can't go out to work, who don't have a job, who can't eat, who don't have like the simplest things, don't have toothpaste or money to buy toothpaste, don't have money to buy bread, don't have money to buy toilet paper or soap, like the little things that we take for granted. Some people can't do. That I have a roof over my head, that I still have a roof over my head after transitioning from job to job, that I own this space. There's stuff that need to be fixed up, but I don't watch other people's spaces anymore. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I want that. I wish, I don't watch it because I can't afford it. I can only live within my means. So be grateful and write down just what you're grateful for. Write it down, and at the end of the year, you open up and say, hey, whatever is in there is a lot to be grateful. Because sometimes you don't remember, you don't see it. I remember walking down my hallway one day coming into my condominium, and I was like, I remember the days when I first moved here, and I don't think, because my expenses literally doubled, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Like, what did I step myself into? This home ownership thing. And we're now almost 9 years into it. And I'm glad, because my kids and I needed the space. And I was blessed to be able to, that's a story to say of how that's a blessing. That was a blessing. That would be another story. But that we're here. So yeah, there's stuff that needs to be done, and I'm gonna what I can to enhance my space. So anyways, back to what I was saying is that important to write things down, set the goals. I might even do a vision board. I think I'm gonna do a vision board. I had wanted to do it like I think it was 3 years back, and I never did it. And what I did is all the things that I want to put on my vision board, I put it into my book that I do my daily list. Because that was a book I was also going to just journal and do affirmations, all that. So that's the things I'm going to do. Write things down. I bought this book 2 years ago that's about manifesting. And it's called Ask and It Is Given. And I've read little pieces of it. So definitely, by my birthday, I'm going to finish that book. Because there's even like they call it exercises to do to help you get into this manifestation and get into this positive vibration and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to do that. 2021, we're going to get through this, and it's going to be a good year, no matter if we're having to stay at home or if we're able to, you know, celebrate stuff outside. My daughter was saying just last night, I think this summer is going to be another summer of no events, but we can make it eventful. We'll find something to do if we just work on what we need to work on now. So here's to 2021. It's going to be a good year. We're going to continue to heal, and going forward for 2021, we're going to do what we can do. We're going to do what we can do. Some people picked a word for the year. I've never ever done that. What would my word be? I don't know. I don't have a word. I don't have a word yet. But I will soon. Anyways, thank you for listening to my what's going to be happening in 2021. But you definitely see me more here on this platform, and I hope to see more of you guys out there. So take care, everybody. And again, thank you so much for all the support. When I hit, okay, I'm very small, like extremely small at this point, but just the other day I was like, somebody said, oh, I watched your video and I liked your content and blah blah blah. I want to say blah blah blah, and so on and so on and so on. And she's like, I'm number 50. I was like, yay. So I think I'm only at 52, but in the past week I think I've gained maybe 7, a whole 7. And as little or small as that is, any step forward is progress. Any step forward is progress. It was sitting on 42 or 41 for a long time. Sometimes I'd look at it as 42, then I'd go back to 41, 42, and I was like, what the hell is happening? And recently it's gone now to 50. I think I'm at 52 or something. So yes, it's small, but it's a step forward and it's movement. And that's all that's important. So high five to my 52, and it can only get better from here. Take care, everybody. Bye.